So someone on this app was trying to say that Shiva is actually Baphomet. You know, that goat-headed god that like the the magi, whatever, east western magic people use in witchcraft, Baphomet. So they were trying to say that Baphomet is Shiva, but if you're going to play that game in mixed cultures, at least know the correct correspondence. So there is a goat-headed god in that culture. It's this guy right here, Daksha. And King Daksha is actually the father of Shakti, or how I learned in South India from the Tamil Nadu lens. It's Shiva and Shakti. They don't really say the H. Between me and you, I heard like without using the H, it actually activates it more. So, but the North doesn't want you to know that. But going back to the point, King Daksha, he was the father of Shakti, and him and Shiva are gonna get married. So he doesn't like that. He's not down. And what is King Daksha esoterically? It's your reproductive intelligence, or the part of you that likes lovemaking, right? You know, that instinct. So Shiva is the source of infinity, like the point of stillness in infinite consciousness, right? So connecting to Shiva is like connecting to the infinite source intelligence within us. So King Daksha is like the ego doing its own ritual, having this celebration, not inviting Shiva and Shakti. So basically, the ego cuts out the one, it cuts out the infinite. And this is before he has a goat head. So Shiva shows up, you know, why would you disrespect me? Cuts off his head. There's a little bit more to the story. You guys can look into it. Puts on the goat head. And then all of a sudden, King Daksha, you know, includes Shiva in his rituals from now on. And you can go into the Mason myths and where they talk about the goat, right? And getting you to like fall off the goat. It's kind of about humiliation and getting you to be humble. And their explanation, if you actually read it, is if you let anger and your emotions get to you, if you let your goat get you, then you're not going to be able to control yourself and actually be that person you want to be. Or you use scapegoats. Like a lot of people who use scapegoats, they're still stuck in that ego, right? Instead of accepting responsibility for their actions, they want to blame it on this guy, this group, it's all this, but it's not me, even though what's happening outside of us is a byproduct of what we're doing within us. But it takes, you know, being honest with yourself to get to that level. That's why I love Shiva. Shiva is all about discipline and structure and being honest with ourselves, because if you really want to be the best version of you, you can't ignore the vehicle that you're in. But yeah, anyway, so Shiva is not Baphomet. And what is Baphomet? Well, according to Pascal Beverly Randolph, which if you guys should check that out if you think Crowley's cool, he came way before him. And he actually taught what Crowley taught, but like not at all like Crowley. He taught like being in a loving relationship, you know, don't do any weird stuff, make sure everyone's legal of age. Like, so it's kind of weird that it started out that way and then it got to Crowley and went weird. But anyways, if you read his books, and he's half African American, so no wonder no one knows about him, right? So if you read his books, he talks about how the oldest use of Baphomet is from Africa, and they use it as an unconscious deity. So it's a deity that represents the unconscious. And he warns, too, like, if your unconscious is full of, like, negative stuff, or you're, like, you know, really into intimacy, or you're obsessed with food, you're obsessed with hating on a group, that deity is just going to bring that out of you, right? But if you only think of God and farming, and you're, like, in a tribe where, like, you guys are really good to each other, then that unconscious energy is going to bring more good stuff, right? Which you could say, does that relate to Daksha, the biological intelligence? Yeah, I think it's great. It's a pretty good connection. I just wouldn't say that Shiva is Pan and Pan is the goat. Like, that's not true at all. I mean, I've read some here. The Book of Pan. Like, I literally read all these books. I don't just, like, talk about stuff that I'm not educated on. They literally try to say that Shiva is Pan, but that's wrong. So just, you know, I did the research for you guys, so that you could trust me if you want. But if you guys want to hear more about Shiva, and it's actually Mahasivatri this week, so it's a celebration related to Shiva. If you guys want to hear more about it and my travels to India, let me know, because I'll definitely do more. There's a lot of really cool stuff with the Siddhas. They were like, if you think the New Age stuff is cool, the Siddha stuff will humble you.